December 12th Town Council, Fishbound Town Council meeting. And of course, it's my last. Don't all applaud at once. and Mr. Accardi also. I need a motion to call to order.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
You're up.
Thank you, sir.
Merry Christmas, everyone. It's a little early yet, but this is our last council meeting for December, so I would be remiss if I didn't have this particular scripture, which I'm sure you'll all recognize, from Luke
We adopted it.
2, chapter 2, 1 through 20. And it came to pass in those days that a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. So all went to be registered, everyone in his own city. Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was a house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed wife, who was with child. So it was that while they were there, the days were completed for her to be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Now there were in the same country shepherds living out in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. And behold, an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were greatly afraid. Then the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which will be to all people. For there is born to you this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be the sign to you. You will find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men." 82 years ago this week was not a prospects of a good Christmas. As probably most of you know, last week, the 7th December, Pearl Harbor Day. This is the morning of December 7th, 1941. The Japanese launched a surprise air attack. The word surprise has been added later. Most of us lived through World War II. It wasn't called a surprise attack. It was a sneak attack. And for most of us, I'm sure that's what it still is. But after just 2 hours of bombing, more than 2,400 Americans were dead. 21 ships had either been sunk or damaged. More than 188 aircraft destroyed. Most of the aircraft never even got off the ground. They were lined up and got them. The Japanese sent the planes in, but they also sent some midget submarines. I believe it was 5 of them. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, all of them were sunk except one. And this poor guy, this Japanese guy, made a wrong turn and didn't go to the base at Pearl Harbor. He went down a little river, and he ran ashore there and got stuck in a civilian area. So the local people captured him, then turned him in, and the poor guy spent the entire war as a POW, but he had it so good, I guess, that when they paroled him at the last day of the war, he didn't go back to Japan. He stayed where he was. So that's where all of his friends were, and he married and raised a family and all. So.
He's still alive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, quite a guy. But the next day, President Franklin Roosevelt, and of course Congress, declared war on Japan and Germany. President Roosevelt made the famous statement, "This is a day that will live in infamy" there. And it was not a unanimous vote, though. One person voted not to declare war, And it was a lady congressman from all places you'd probably think, you know, New York, New Jersey, Chicago, somewhere, Montana. And I've tried to find out what her reasoning was, and I can't. And if you find it, well, please let me know. But this just completely wiped out our Navy there, and mostly had to rebuild it. And we were fortunate, we had a man to take over as the admiral in charge of the Pacific Fleet named Chester Nimitz. And he was from a little town in Texas. He had lived on a ranch there. And I had the fortune to visit one time, and it's not any water within 100 miles of where he grew up on that ranch, maybe the Brazos River. It was about 6 inches deep maybe. But I don't think that he had ever seen the ocean until he joined the Navy. And he was given command of the Pacific Fleet. He was a tough guy, but he was a man of faith also. And he made this statement when he became commander of the Pacific Fleet. He said, "I asked God for strength that I might achieve. I was made weak that I might learn to obey. I asked for health that I might do greater things. I was given infirmity that I might do better things. I asked for riches that I might be happy. I was given poverty that I might be wise. I asked for power that I might have the praise of men. And I was given weakness that I might feel the need of God. I asked for all things that I might enjoy life. I was given life that I might enjoy all things. I got nothing that I asked for, but everything I hoped for. Almost despite myself, my unspoken prayers were answered. I am among all men most richly blessed." Would you bow your heads, please? Lord, we thank you for these people, the greatest generation, and preserved and gave us our freedom. We thank you for letting us live here where we do, Lord. We couldn't find a better place. We ask that you'll be with the council and be with the new members that are being sworn in. Grant them all wisdom to lead us in ways pleasing to you, Lord. And we just ask that you will be with your children in Israel, and Lord, just please protect them and guide them. And we ask that you bless our military, our firefighters, EMT, law enforcement. And we pray, Lord, you continue to bless the United States of America and Beach Mountain. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Cyclone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, before we go to the Pledge of Allegiance, I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Happy now? Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
Public comments? Nick? Wilson?
And my piece of paper on one thing. I'm not so sure I've seen so many people with ties and jackets on in my life. I've never seen them like this before.
You know why? We're going to a funeral.
Well,
We're going to a funeral.
I hope it's a joyous occasion that they're coming to. A couple of things I want to mention. One is the deer population seems to have grown a great deal. The herds are much larger than many of us have seen up here. We also know that Watauga County in Boone has asked for a study of the number of deer that are down in the county and near Boone. I would like to recommend the new council that they study this issue again about the number of deer up here so we don't have any diseased deer or any further accidents of all those animals. For the new council members, I would hope you do two things that we asked you to do. And that's one is to meet with us periodically, say once a month or twice a month, privately where we can come see you outside of the meeting here. And number two is to examine our finances a little bit to see if we can't get a further reduction in our tax rates here, or the millage rate, as we move on into this year. We have had a huge increase here, and we'd like to have some rebate back to the general population. And now I can't read my writing, but for those guys that are leaving off the council, thank you for your service and what you do. And finally, I'd like to say that, for the record, I think everybody in this room would like to thank not only council, but the people in the administration, the utility department, and every other department, including the police department and the recreation department, for all the things that they do for us. It's a joy to live here, and it's made easier and more fun because of all those people that we have working with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got a proclamation of appreciation. Mr. Ray Pickett? You're up, sir.
Town of Beech Mountain, proclamation of appreciation for Representative Ray Pickett. Whereas the town of Beech Mountain is the highest town in eastern America, and whereas the population of the town has doubled in the past 10 years, and whereas the town sits at the top of a watershed and served by one small reservoir, Buckeye Lake, which is required to release water daily from the dam in an amount equal to the water that flows in from Buckeye Creek. And whereas the town's water supply is insufficient in times of drought, and secondary emergency water source is needed for the safety, sanitation, consumption needs of residents, visitors, and businesses. Whereas the town has created a plan to expand Lake Coffee into an additional reservoir for emergency use, and whereas the expense of the needed expansion of the town's water supply is significant barrier to the project, and whereas the town of Beech Mountain is fortunate to have strong local delegation within the North Carolina legislation, whereas Senator Ralph Hise, Representative Doug Green, and Representative Ray Pickett successfully included $14 million in the state budget to the town of Beech Mountain's water infrastructure. Now therefore, the town of Beech Mountain does hereby proclaim its deepest appreciation with sincerest gratitude to Senator Ralph Hise, Representative Dudley Green, and Representative Ray Pickett for their tirelessly efforts on behalf of the town of Beech Mountain and their service to our citizens. Thank you, sir.
He did that without stuttering.
There's more to come. I did.
We're at applause.
Ray, thank you.
We're at applause.
Yes, we're paused.
Who said that?
Oh, thank you.
Very good, Bob.
Mayor, Vice Mayor Cardy has a presentation to make.
So I couldn't find any walkers or wheelchairs for him. They were all out. So we got him made a really cool gavel with his name on it. Serving that. So that's from us to you, and we appreciate
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I need a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, well, I need a second, actually.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Are the mics on?
Yes.
I didn't want to say anything. Okay, departure of council members and council, if you want to do the, order?
Mayor, yes, if I could turn it over to the town clerk. Emily's going to call up the members and have them sworn in order. Because we have 4 members of our council, we need to maintain a quorum through the meeting, so she's going to do it in a specific order.
All right.
Wish you luck.
Nice and loud.
I, Kelly Malang,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws of the United
the Constitution and laws of the United States,
States, that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true
and bear true allegiance
allegiance to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities which are or may be
and the authorities which are or may be
established for the government thereof,
established for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor to support,
that I will endeavor to support,
maintain, and defend
maintain, and defend
the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent with
not inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United
to
States,
the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as
of my office as
council member to the town of Beech Mountain.
council member to the town of Beech Mountain.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Alan Villanova,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States.
of the United States,
That I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and the authorities which are or may be
and the authorities which are or may be
established for the government thereof.
established for the government thereof,
That I will endeavor to support,
that I will endeavor to support,
maintain, and defend
maintain, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of North Carolina,
of North Carolina,
not inconsistent with
not inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
That I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as council member to the town of Beech Mountain.
as council member to the town of Beech Mountain.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. I state your name.
I, Mark Beckman,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or
That I-
affirm, doesn't matter, either or,
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States.
of the United States,
That I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities which are or may be
and the authorities which are or may be
established for the government thereof.
established for the government thereof.
That I will endeavor to support,
I will endeavor to support,
maintain and defend
maintain and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of North Carolina,
of North Carolina,
not inconsistent with
not inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge
to the best of my knowledge
and ability,
and ability,
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as council member to the town of Beech Mountain.
as council member to the town of Beech Mountain.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Michael Stanford,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina,
to the state of North Carolina,
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities which are or may be
and the authorities which are or may be
established for the government thereof,
established for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor to support,
that I will endeavor to support,
maintain, and defend
maintain, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of North Carolina,
of North Carolina,
not inconsistent with
not inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as council member of the town of Beech Mountain.
as council member of the town of Beech
So
Mountain.
help me God.
So help me God.
He's leaving already. Town clerk will now call for the election of the mayor.
I need a motion to nominate the mayor for the town of Beech Mountain.
I make the motion to nominate Jay Widener Abernathy for mayor of Beech Mountain.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm doing it over, yeah. I don't see the 2 seconds.
So Mayor, it would be appropriate for you to call for a nomination and vote on the vice mayor.
I need a motion for the vice mayor. Motion for Kelly Lang.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Do I move?
Do you,
No, I'm good. I'm good here.
think she can sit?
Do I have to move? I'm sorry.
You need to sit somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I was over there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly.
I may be doing this out of order, but I want to go ahead and recognize Braxton Eggers has to leave early. And Braxton Eggers is our Watauga County Commissioner, and the lines have been redrawn, and he is now, Beech Mountain is part of his new territory, if you will. Braxton Eggers. Thank you for attending. Thank you. So I wanted to clarify something with the consent agenda, and just so the council knows and the folks that are attending, the consent agenda contains those items not expected to require discussion and can be voted upon with a single vote. Any member of town council can request a consent agenda item to be removed for consideration. So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Need a second? Second. Discussion? Vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Old business. Item 13.1. Chief, will you introduce the items for sale of the town properties?
Yes, Mayor and Council, this, the town from time to time acquires parcels of land, usually through dedication. People want to give them to the town, they don't want to pay taxes on them. Usually they're unbuildable type lots. These particular lots were obtained through a tax foreclosure in 2014. The previous council gave us authorization to sell these. We put them out on Gov Deals for the required time where it was auctioned. And then there's a 10-day upset period, which has passed. So what we're asking is permission to close the deal on these two parcels of land that the town owns since 2014, little over 9 years. We haven't collected any taxes. Total for the two parcels is $32,310. The same person, I believe, lives on the road, offered a bid for each one. So staff would recommend approval of sale of these two parcels.
I need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Item 13.2. I need a motion to open the public hearing regarding annexation of Buckeye Nest property.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Chief, do you want to explain what item 13.2 is, please?
As soon as you call for vote.
I need a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So this is a public hearing on the annexations required by law. I don't know if anyone's here wishes to speak. This is annexation of the Buckeye Nest property, basically at the intersection of Buckeye Creek Road and Pinnacle Ridge, about 19 acres of land. The town planner's here today to answer any questions as we go forward.
I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
Second?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm sorry, I left that out. Yes.
That's okay. My name's John Layton. My wife and I own property that abuts this in Eagles Nest. We're lot 114. And I just wanted to get a sense of exactly the intention of the applicant. From a standpoint of annexing this, you're changing the zoning, I believe, too. And I just want to hear from the applicant and get a sense of what their thoughts are, if we could.
The applicant's not here.
Well, it's a public hearing, so we can talk about it when you have the item on your agenda.
Okay.
See if anybody else wants to speak.
Yes, does anyone else care to speak? Anyone in the public care to speak regarding this? I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the hearing.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Item 13.3. I need a motion to open the public hearing regarding the annexation of town-owned property along Buckeye Creek Road.
Motion.
Second.
Need a, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Does anyone have any public comments concerning this? Going once, going twice?
Does anybody know what it is? This is a piece of property where a new town sign has at the end of Buckeye Creek Road. It now says Beach Mountain, that way. So we have basically annexed that piece of property into the town so that we can have a sign on it.
Is this where the garbage dump is? Or
Yes, sir, it is.
Is that previous one close to that?
Previous,
The one that the gentleman spoke about?
No.
no,
That's further away.
it's the other end of Buckeye Creek Road.
I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Item 13.4. This is a required public hearing on rezoning for the annex property. I need a motion to open the public hearing regarding the zoning of Buckeye Nest property.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
What are you rezoning it for?
Chief, will you?
It's appropriate to do it when we talk about the rezoning. This is a public hearing to have input.
Okay. Item 13.5.
Wait a minute.
I'm
Public
sorry, I
hearing's
need to-
still open.
I'm sorry, I need to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Item 13.5.
Let's go through Chief explaining 13.4.
You do that in 14.
Yep.
when-
14,
when-
Okay.
okay. Excellent,
when we
okay.
rezone.
Gotcha.
There's a resolution certifying and declaring the results of the special bond referendum. Need a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay, new business. There's a resolution authorizing individuals for deposit accounts and bank signatures.
Mayor, what we'll do here after you approve it, obviously, we'll insert your name as mayor and Vice Mayor Malang into this ordinance before it's, this resolution rather, before it's printed for your signature. And this is to authorize up to 4 people to sign for expenditures of town funds. The finance director, town manager, the current mayor, and the current vice mayor.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Item 14.2, this does not require a motion, and I'd like to introduce our town auditor, Cindy Randolph. And if Cindy will come up and present the 2023 financial audit.
This is all that's in here. Oh, so,
Thank you.
yeah, she's gonna build us.
Thank you, sir.
I apologize for being late. It was a bad wreck there, the intersection. I have a feeling somebody lost their life by the time, the car was horrendous. But anyway, I've never been late before, so I kept calling Steve saying, oh my goodness. Anyway, so I made it on time. First of all, I'm Cindy Randolph for the new ones that are just got inducted. My firm is C. Randolph CPA in West Jefferson, North Carolina. I've been doing this for close to 35 years and love the auditing world. So my passion is government and nonprofit audits. So just give you a little bit of background there. Like I say, I'd like to thank the council, mayor, Bob, Steve, for allowing us to do the audit again this year. It's always a pleasure to work with Bob and Steve and the staff here. We cut up and then on occasions, and then sometimes we're real serious. So it's a lot of fun. The audit has been submitted to the Local Government Commission, and it has been approved by the Local Government Commission. We did issue an unmodified opinion on the financial statements, which is your normal type of opinion you'd want in an audit of your financial statements. The town did have a yellow book audit for the 22-23 year, which means you guys received state funding greater than $300,000 for the year. Part of a yellow book audit, just to give you a little bit of a background there, we have to look at certain expenditures and make sure that the town was in compliance with the grant monies that you received and that you're spending them the way that the grant asks. So we get the grant agreement. And we verify and vouch a lot of the expenditures. Another part of that is that we have to look at internal controls as well within the town. We did not identify any non-compliance on any of the grants, or we did not identify any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in internal controls as of June 30th, 23. Bob, Steve, the staff, they do a great job here. Now, of course, you guys have your audit report, and it's a pretty big audit report. I did insert for this year, I inserted tabs, so it's a little bit easier to flip and see. Not going to go detail by detail on the audit. I'm just going to hit a few high points of the audit, and when I get through, if you have questions, I'll answer. If I can't, maybe Steve or Bob can help me. The town's unassigned fund balance for the general fund was $5,745,646, while total fund balance reached $7,745,662. This was an increase from the previous year of $872,342. Unassigned fund balance represents 58% of total general fund expenditures for the fiscal year. The town had fund balance available. The percent of that at June 30th, 23 was 69%. The Local Government Commission, they collect the information for similar units that have this, they give us a range on general fund expenditures, total amount that you've spent for the year. They collect the information and say that, okay, a town that is the size of each, the average as of June 30th, 23 was 46%, and you guys had 69%. So you're well above the average. Current property tax collection percentage was 98% for June 30th, 23. General fund revenues, now we're talking just general fund because there's other funds in here. General fund revenues increased a little over $2.7 million as of June 30th, 23. That increase was mainly due to an increase in the property tax revenues, local option sales tax, and a really big increase in your investments earned money, your interest earned on your investments. All three of those combined, those three, the property tax, the local option sales tax, and your interest earned, was a little over $2.9 million in addition for the June 30th, 23. There were also very close monitoring of your expenditures during the year, with actual expenditures below your budget of a little over $800,000. That's great, because what happens if you spend over what you budgeted, it's a statute violation and it will be a finding in the audit. So that was great that you guys were well below the $800,000, and that's why you do budget amendments. Okay, the enterprise fund, which is more like a for-profit, it runs more like a business for-profit fund. That includes your water and sewer fund and your sanitation fund. It had a net position at June 30th, 23 of $17,204,514. This was an increase from the previous year of a little over $1.3 million, which was great. That's kind of just a quick highlight of some very large numbers. And so I think as the town council, the mayor, the staff, you guys should commend yourself on another excellent audit year. Are there any questions, comments?
Chief, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I know this next year is gonna be a little bit different because I think we're doing debt, going to the LGC for debt approval, correct?
Yes.
On some projects.
Yep. I would just like to remind everyone, this is through June 30.
That's right.
When you hear the numbers, particularly in the increase in the general fund, as Cindy said, we had additional tax revenue, we had additional sales tax revenue, and we had additional investment revenue. I want to remind the council that the current budget year that we're in, you reduced the ad valorem by 3 cents. This audit was at 0.68, and you're now at 0.65. So as we go forward, plus with additional debt and our standing with, should we have to issue bonds on Lake Coffee, we want to have a strong financial position. So this is as of June 30 of 2023. It's not the current budget that you're in now. And my mother taught me that when you have really good news in your head, shut up.
Anyone have any questions? Okay. Cindy, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
I would, Mayor, I've got to speak. There's two primary people in our administration that are responsible for the day-to-day financial, as well as our tax collection amount. So our finance director, Steve Smith, and Kelsey Wise manage our day-to-day dollars every day. And that's their, well, it's not Kelsey's sole job, but that's Steve's, and he works diligently almost 24 hours a day taking care of our funds. And this audit is a reflection of the effort he puts in. And then Rebecca Ward does our tax collection, and we wouldn't have the revenues we have, we wouldn't have the increase in fund balance if we couldn't collect on our debt. And Rebecca goes above and beyond to do that. So I need to thank those three people.
Yeah, that percentage was 98 and something. That's pretty impressive.
98.9.
So, almost perfect. Move to item 14.3, ordinance annex Buckeye Nest property. Need a motion?
Motion?
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Mayor, this would be appropriate to answer those questions that were
Yes, sir.
asked. This is Buckeye Nest. This is the corner of Buckeye Creek and Pinnacle Ridge. It's a 19-acre parcel that partially in the town and partially was unincorporated Avery County. The property owner came to the town wishing to develop up to four single-family homes on that 19 acres. And asked to voluntarily annex into the town. In return, they would receive town services, town sewer and water, police, fire protection, EMS. We've gone through the process. The planner is here today to talk about the certification and everything, where we're at today. I met with the property owner, spoke with him today. He has no intentions of developing the remainder. Later on, you'll see where we're asking to zone it R1, which is the most restrictive zoning category for residential in the town. We think it's appropriate. We'll ask you that if you annex this town, that you consider the R1 zoning category. So Preston Yates is here. He's got an extensive staff report in your agenda. If you've got any questions that I can't answer, he's here to answer those.
No, Chief, the only question I have right now, we have water and sewer to the property now,
We
correct?
do?
There'll be no cost to the town of bringing those services there.
No, sir. Actually, the proponent of the property will pay impact fees, or system development fees, we now call them. We're not allowed to call them impact fees. And they're substantial for him to come in and connect to the town utility, as well as now pay ad valorem taxes forever to the town.
Thank you.
So the extra portion that you said was not gonna be developed, do they have plans, or is it just gonna sit there, or?
He indicated this was a family compound and he wanted to maintain that green space, is what he said.
Would they have the option to redevelop it if they change
Yeah,
it?
once the annexation takes place and the zoning is applied to the property, all of the property would have that zoning category, and anybody that owned it could then develop it to that extent.
So that zoning question comes back to council at a later date, or is that just done through the planning?
No, the zoning, we're going to ask you if you annex this to apply the R1 zoning tonight. That would be the zoning that would run with the land until it was changed at some point. That's when it would come back to council. If there's no increase in density, or if the owner at the time doesn't need any change in zoning, you would not see it again.
Is the 4 units now the max you can do under that zoning, or does he still have room to do more?
No, it's a 19-acre parcel,
Oh.
and where's Preston? R1 specifies what?
2 acres?
Yeah, it's
One.
1 acre per size, but it's also in the critical watershed,
Mhm.
which restricts it to 2 acres. So most of it would be 1 acre per 2 acre.
That R1 zoning, also, this particular property is in the watershed for Buckeye Creek, Buckeye Lake, and so it would be 1 per 2 acres.
Any other questions, discussion? We need to make a vote. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed, same sign. Item 14.4, which this doesn't require any motions. Board and committee appointments.
Mayor, what we've done, Emily has given you a list of all boards and committees and the positions that are either up for reappointment or expiring or vacant. There's a substantial number. Typically, the town council solicits applications and makes appointments in January. So we'll have this on your January agenda. We'll give you a packet of people who've applied and ask that you appoint or reappoint people to those boards. So that's for information.
Okay. Item 14.5, planning board appointment. Need a
Mayor,
motion?
Mayor, that's a specific appointment we're ready to ask you to make for the planning board, and I think you have 4 applicants here. Your choice today is to appoint one of those or move it forward to January.
I believe moving it forward to give the council time to investigate a little bit more on the applicants.
Sure.
There's 1 position open for the planning board
Yes, sir.
and 4 applicants?
Yes, sir.
I'll read it that way. Okay. Table it?
So I make a motion to table this until January.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
So that means we would have, if I'm reading this right, we'd end up with 3 vacancies in January that we need to fill on planning board?
Correct.
Either that or some that would re-upped.
Need to take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Item 14.6, ordinance to rezone the Buckeye Nest property. I need a motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
And discussion.
So Mayor, again, now that you've annexed that property, staff is recommending the R1 zoning, and this ordinance establishes R1 zoning on those 19 plus give or take acres.
What are the basic elements of R1 zoning?
Preston?
It's a single-family residential zoning, low density. It's basically our lowest density residential zoning. It would be, and it's typically around the periphery where we're looking for larger 1 acre or bigger lots. Whereas it's sort of in the middle of the town, we have 1/3 of an acre lots. So it's, and as I mentioned before, it's also in the watershed, which would restrict it to the 2 acre minimum size. But it's a residential. It allows homes, basically single family homes, to be built.
Okay, thank you.
When determining the acreage available, do you take out the roads and then divide, or is the roads part of the total acreage?
For the density,
Yeah.
I think it's I'd have to read, but I think it's calculated on the total acreage available, and then you add the roads.
Any further questions? Discussion?
Planning board recommended this. It was duly before them, and they recommended the R1 zoning.
Need to take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes. Need a motion to annex the town property on Buckeye Creek Road.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Chief, you want to explain this?
Mayor, this is that piece of property at Buckeye Creek Road and Buckeye Road where the Avery County Transfer Station exists. As I explained to the previous council, we had a lot of trouble getting permission to put a sign entrance to the town in that location. We had it in 3 different places, and 3 times other governmental agencies made us stop. So it became apparent to me, and I recommended to the previous council, that we own that land. Let's annex it into the town, make it municipal boundary, extend the municipal boundaries, put our sign where we want it on our property, and that's what this encompasses. The Avery County transfer station is now within, if you approve this, would now be in the municipal limits of the town of Beech Mountain. I've had conversations with the county manager, Philip Barrier. We've discussed what this means to that transfer station. I told him we weren't anticipating any changes, that it would, however, now come under the zoning of the town of Beech Mountain. Avery County does not have zoning. So we would talk about cleaning it up, signage, things like that. But currently, that's the only impact by doing this.
So it's just the sign, there wasn't also a storage area? Was that a different property? I'm thinking of something, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, the transfer stations will be on the new
Gotcha.
property. We annex that property. in.
okay.
It's
okay.
within, it now would be within the town of
Town.
Beech Mountain, and it would, the only material change would then come under our zoning laws, which we would then work with Avery County to apply those. There's no intention, unless I'm told differently, there's no intention to do anything with the transfer station, move it, do anything of that nature.
Does it affect liability-wise or anything like that, now that it's within the town being, previously it was just owned by the town?
We own the property
Yeah,
previously.
we owned it previously, so it really shouldn't make any difference.
Correct, yes, sir. It's been town-owned property since the town was incorporated. It's been something that we required a survey to delineate exactly where the lines are, but it is town-owned property. It wouldn't affect your liability And the only thing else I would add is it will require a zoning designation, so that will come back to you after that goes through the planning board for a recommended designation. Usually governmental-owned property, such as town-owned property, is zoned specifically as a governmental zoning district that we have in our ordinance already.
Thank you.
Any further questions? We need to take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Now, Chief, you're up.
That was pretty good, made it through that big agenda. Let's see, well, first, let me welcome the new council members and the mayor and vice mayor. I will assure you that the staff and I look forward to working with you for the betterment of the town of Beech Mountain. And excited that we had a very good transfer of leadership, and by the looks of your agenda, we haven't missed a beat. So thank you very much. If you would, on page 202 of your agenda, it's the finance officer's report. It's through October 31st. The benchmark is 33.33%. I just want to show at the bottom for expenditures, we're at 28.5. So we're, again, below the benchmark. And I'd ask that each month you at least look at this column and see where our benchmark is in the budget year and where our expenditures are. That's a tool that I use to look at each department, which I also have those there for you to make sure we're meeting our budgetary requirements. That report will be there every month. And we also give you a report on the two enterprise funds, the water and sanitation. You'll notice it's well below the benchmark as well. And those two are well under budget as we move forward for the first quarter. We also give you a report. It's on page 205. It's a summary of our fund balances as we go forward, as you see where we started the budget and where we end up. That's a little misleading because we collect property taxes typically in November. So in the first quarter, you'll see the fund balance being lowered to manage expenditures through the first quarter. And then you'll see when we get into October, November, December, you'll see the fund balance jump up again. It's not that we're printing money, it's how the town receives its revenues. So just keep an eye on that, and it'll give you a good understanding of our finances as we move forward. Also, myself and Steve, our finance director, you know, we're here 24 hours a day to answer your questions on the finances. So let's see, my report. Water restrictions have been lifted. We did that today, based on 7 consecutive days above the minimum release for the lake. We're going to continue to monitor the water supply. We'll make adjustments as necessary. Without a long-term change in the weather pattern, we can expect to have restrictions again in the future. So, you know, we were able to relieve the community from the voluntary restrictions. I'll go through the water report in a little bit, but our voluntary restrictions, we can measure compliance and measure that voluntarily our residents were helping us out. So we used less water than we were, plus now we've had some rain. The Pinnacle Ridge well is ready to go. We've got power to it, and it's being tested. We're waiting on the state to finalize their approval and permitting, and we expect to be able to operate that well after the 1st of January. And that, again, to remind everyone, that'll bring us approximately 100,000 gallons of water per day into the system. So that will be a huge benefit. Our general obligation bond for Lake Coffee project passed overwhelmingly on November 7th, and we're proceeding with the certification, which you did today, of the election. Steve's got a number of documents, Steve and Emily, that they're processing this week. We've got to get to the LGC in January, I believe, and that process is moving along. Lake Coffee, we're moving forward with design and engineering, One of the things I want you to know, and I think I shared it with the previous council, is out of that $14 million grant, we were given the opportunity to take some of the expenses that we used before receiving the money out of our general fund to pay the town back. So Steve is in the process of calculating that. We had some large expenditures, $165,000 for the geotech engineering where we drilled all those holes. We'll be able now to repay the utility, is where we took that money from. We have quite a bit of engineering, design, and professional work done. Again, we'll be able to draw upon that $14 million and repay the utility. The Town Hall Visitor Center update. Well, we're well behind schedule at this point, in case you didn't notice out there. Due to weather and roofing issues, we've had the contractors had a roofing problem, and that has slowed the project down. We expect to make some of that time up after the materials are here this week. What we're focusing on now is to get our police dispatch, which we've moved temporarily upstairs, get that site or that space completed and move them back in. We've got some IT work to do. I think they were painting today, but that's the focus. The contractor still assures me he'll be done in May. We just didn't discuss what year. On the ski loft project, as well as the what we're calling the 2023 larger utility project, we've signed those contracts. We've given notices to proceed. We've had one pre-construction meeting on the ski loft. We have a pre-construction meeting on the major utility project coming forward, so that's moving ahead. We received approval from LGC on the financing for both of those. What's important on the ski loft project is April 1st. We're shutting off the water, the power, we're digging dirt. We had a good meeting with the contractor. We had a good meeting with the what we call dry utilities, the power company, telephone, and cable. Everybody's on board. We've got a good plan. The materials have been ordered, and most are on site, so we're not going to have any material delays, and that project will move forward April 1st. Solid waste, if you look on page 210 of your packet, we had talked about, where we were in the solid waste stream, and I said we needed 2 good years to compare. We're finishing up the second year. You'll notice that we're at about 895 tons for 2 years in a row, maybe 1 ton difference. That is a good trend. That is a good plateau for us, and we'll be able to now calculate our costs and our expenditures based on that 2-year average of about 895 tons. We submitted a second BRIC grant application for $15 million. That's a Building Resilient Infrastructure in Communities. It's a federal grant. Steve and Daniel Davis and Kate Gervais worked on that. They burned the midnight oil to get it in on time. And that's for future water and sewer infrastructure projects. That's years in the making. Federal grants take forever, but we did submit a second one, so that one's in the works, and you can expect to hear reports from me on that as we move forward.
Chief, is that through Haggerty? Haggerty have their fingers on this?
They did, but I didn't want to tell them thank you. No, I forgot to say that, but it was really Steve and Daniel burned the midnight oil on that.
Yep.
And Steve will tell you that Daniel took the lead after Steve threw his hands up and knocked a cup off the table and things like that. It's a very difficult federal process to go through, and the websites don't work, and it's just very frustrating, but they got it done. $15 million. We've secured the facilitator, Chris May, for the January 25th budget retreat. I'd like you passed that calendar tonight. I'd like you to block out the full day for that meeting. What we'll do is it'll be facilitated. We'll feed you, but we need to get started on our budget retreat and hear from you what your priorities are so that we can get moving on the budget. So that's the 25th of January. It'll be here. If you would block out that day. Last but not least, I need to remind you again about the Christmas parade, December 21st. It's coming up soon. It's snow or shine. And remember that Santa's Workshop has been moved to the side of the brick oven due to construction at Town Hall. If you've got any questions, give Parks and Rec a call, and if you'd like to get a float in the parade, please do. We have a float for the council, so please plan on riding on the float and waving and throwing snowballs.
What time's the parade start, Chief, or what time's lineup?
4 o'clock. And Mayor, that's my report.
You said Mayor, I was looking at Barry.
I
don't blame you. You have any comments?
Bob, one question for you. Do we have a timeline, or if you produce a timeline for the Lake Coffee project?
Yeah, it's right up here.
Okay.
Well, yes and no. Engineering is still, we're still, at 30% engineering. We just found out how much rock is down there, and we just have begun to have the professionals decide how much excavation, where the height of the dam is going to be. The best guess is 2026, 2027.
Online.
Yes, we have to do it over 2 years, because part of the agreement with the resort is we have to stop and have enough water for them to make snow for 2 winters. So the plan is to, I'm not really sure when we could even begin, but the plan is to work through the construction season with a reservoir similar to what we have today in Lake Santas, which means excavation and building over by Lake Coffee. Slow or stop, depending on where we are. The infrastructure that makes snow would have to operate for that winter. The next construction season would be moving the pump infrastructure that makes snow. That has to be moved because it'll be underwater, and excavating the dam between Coffee and Santas and filling the reservoir, and then making snow in that second period. So it would be the spring after 2 snow seasons that we would have use of the reservoir for potable water. So we think that's going to be in the 2026-27 range, but that's really, just throwing a...
Too early to tell.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds like we have our town manager for a few more years.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to build it. I said I had to get money for it.
Oh, I heard completion.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief. Now's our town council comments. Alan, you want to start us off?
Well, I'd just like to thank everyone, my wife, and supporting me, and all of you that voted for me to get me here. And as I said at our Meet the Candidates, I want to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money and do what's in the best interest of the town and the people here. And support, and a big support to Bob Pudney. He's done an excellent job, and I've talked to him several times. And just thank you again.
Art?
Yeah, a couple of things. Yes, thank you to all who voted for me, and whether you voted for me or not, it doesn't matter. I'm sitting up here now, so we'll play it from there. One thing I really I'm extremely looking forward to working with the staff. I mean, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Bob. I've dealt with a lot of staff here at Town Hall in my day-to-day activities, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I think we just have some great people. We had Daniel from Public Works stand up here the other day, and that guy is spot on. He really knows his stuff. I'm really impressed with the people up here, and I'm looking forward. Barry, Jimmy, thank you for what you've done for this town. Every one of us is just a stepping stone to something better, and I hope to be part of that. Thank you.
So, I don't know what's proper here. This Michael's his first name, Stanford's his last name, but it goes by Stanford. So, Stanford, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. That's what I'm gonna call you here go forward. I too want to thank everybody who supported me in this, and I have to say thank you, Aaron, for making our move up here and supporting me in this endeavor to get on council. You know, I said when I campaigned that two of the big things for me were communication and education, and I'm going to start working on that, reaching out to staff and understanding how we're doing that today, and making sure that we're finding ways to make sure that the citizens, the property owners know what this council's doing and where we're going in the future. So thank you again for your support.
Kelly?
Thank you, Barry and Jimmy and Aaron, who's not here. It was a full pleasure working with you. And welcome to the new members. I just kind of see this as a new great adventure, and I'm really excited about the people that I'm working on to make this really great. We all bring different things to this table, and the best part of all of this is that we'll all work together for the best of Beech Mountain. So here's to a new beginning.
Well, as Barry knows, normally I have quite a few comments, but I've had a few today, so I'll limit my comments. Chief, first of all, I want you to know the council is behind you. So
100%.
whatever we can do to make your job easier, just make us look good.
It's my job.
I'd like to recognize a couple of our town employees that make this happen. They stay in the shadows. Emily Haynes, she's our interim town clerk. And also Riley Hatch. I asked Chief, I said, what exactly is his title? And he's like, the list is too long. So Riley's got his hands in on about every project here on Beech Mountain, and he's a valuable resource. Riley, how many years you been up here?
Since 71.
Wow. So thank you for all you guys do. So at this time, we are going to go into closed session, and I need a motion to go into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. All right.
We'll go in my office.
Sandy has been by.
Yeah. What was the one thing she had to have a fruit fly?
Private, we back on?
Okay, got everyone here. Returning from closed session, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Say aye.
Ah.
Aye.
Any opposed?